Welcome back to the Mental Playbook with Christine Dalgity, Season 2. This season, we are expanding the conversation, hearing from mental health experts, professionals from different industries, and people in the sports world about how they take care of their minds, handle challenges, and build the mindset to thrive both on the job and in life. So, grab a coffee, get comfy, tune in, get inspired, and let's dive into some fascinating conversations. Remember, your mind is super powerful, and with the right tools and knowledge, you can master your mental playbook. And while you're doing that, take care of you. Have you ever wished that you could sit down with your mentor, your boss, your supervisor, and ask whatever questions you wanted to ask, whether it was some personal things to get to know them, some pick your brain type things for the profession, whatever you want to ask. So welcome back to the Mental Playbook with Christine Dalgity. Today's episode was a brainstorming event with some of the therapists, and they wanted to take turns asking me questions that they want to know about me or the profession, kind of like a supervision, where they can ask questions but not client-centered, obviously. And today we have Rachel, and she's going to start them all off and ask me some questions. I have no idea what the questions are, and that's okay. I'm used to that with Lily. Yeah, so let's do this thing. Just want to say we record a week ahead, and yesterday was Canada Day. It is bloody hot in Ontario right now, like stupid hot. So I went and sat in the pool. Like up to here. But I'm off a weekend. I went to Toronto for the Blue Jays weekend with three of my lifelong friends and had a blast and had amazing seats where like Dalton Varsho was like right in front of me, and it was exactly what the doctor ordered. And I even told the girls, this is the first time I've ever done this. The laptop stayed home. I was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I did not bring my computer at all. I did zero work. Well, not zero because I get my email on my phone, but yeah. So that's like a whoop whoop for Christine.
We're all really proud of you.
All right, without further ado, let's do this thing. Okay.
Okay, so today I thought we would talk about wellness, healthy habits, and feeling your overall best. So I wanted to chat about your routines, how you handle days when motivation is low, and some things that have had the biggest impact on your overall well-being. So I think everyone has their own unique approach to wellness. So I'm excited to hear what works for you and hopefully give our listeners some ideas and what they can take away and make their own.
All right.
Okay, so first question. What are some of your latest obsessions or current favorites?
Okay, for wellness. Latest obsessions or current favorites. Well, everybody knows this, and I just said it. Sports, watching sports, being at sporting events. I'm going to Red Blacks game tomorrow night, just off of Blue Jays weekend, and Sens aren't playing. Bills haven't started, so those are my four teams. So it's a bit of an obsession. Mm-hmm. Like I'll be somewhere, and I'm thinking, like yesterday at the pool, I need to get home for 3:07 because it's the Canada Day Blue Jays thing and I want to watch it. So it's a bit of an obsession, but it's healthy. Obviously, if I'm like at a family event or something, I'm not going to, working out now has become, whereas before I'd be like, oh, I have to. Now it's like, okay, I need to make sure that I fit it in. So sometimes even Thursdays I have clients from home and I work 8 to 5 on Thursdays. And so I have my other routine in the morning. So I don't always want to get up right away and go downstairs to my gym. So I will make sure I have, like if I get a cancellation, I'll block it off and tell Kyla or Danica not to book anyone in. So that's my workout time. So obsession in the sense that, I feel so good and I'm Pants are a lot looser on me and stuff. Yeah, so, and not current or recent, but different in the sense that my grandkids are getting a little bit older, like 5 and 4, but, well, McKinley will be 6 next month, but like, they're playing more sports and she's in dance, and so they come over more often and that kind of thing. So all of those, and times with my friends and family, all of those things yeah.
Okay, those are some great ones. So are there any that are like seasonal, like specific to summer?
Sister Sunday, but sometimes it's Sister Friday, Sister Saturday. So Sister Sunday started 21 years ago when my mom was sick. And I think I might have said this on a podcast before. I can't remember. We've done so many, and then videos, and I don't know what I've said and what I haven't sometimes. But when my mom was sick, my mom had ALS, and my dad and my sister and I took care of her. And it was a lot. I was also a single parent to a 12-year-old. Well, at that time, 13, I guess, when it started. And yeah, my dad said to my sister and I, my parents had a pool. My sister bought the family home, so now it's hers. But and my dad said, you know what, girls, go and sit by the pool. We had walkie-talkies, so he's like, 2 ways. So he's like, if I need you, I'll just, you know. So we went to the pool, went to the backyard with a bottle of wine, and we just floated around and we sat there for a couple of hours. And so we finished a bottle of wine, and then my sister used the 2-way, and she's like, Dad? And he said, yeah, hun. And she goes, we emptied this bottle of wine. Could you bring us out another one? I'm not going to tell you what he said because he swore, but it was a funny swear. He used to say, I think I can say it. He used to say, up your arse. Little Scottish term, I think. But yeah, and so we were laughing our heads off. We didn't want another bottle of wine. We were just saying that because we did have to take care of our mother. And then that started every single Sunday. That's what we would do. And then over the years, Danica and Jessica, our nieces, they started coming too. And sometimes it's Sister Friday or Sister Saturday, depending, because Alice and I both try to take Friday afternoons. I don't see clients on Fridays. I do paperwork and supervision and stuff, so I try to get it all done in the morning. And then, yeah, we sit by the pool and have a drink or don't, and just float around and everything. And so that's a seasonal, obviously, because it's the pool.
That sounds so fun.
It is
I love
so
that
fun.
idea.
It is so fun. And having the girls too, like our nieces, because they're now like, Jess is going to be 31 next week and Danica's 21. And so it's fun. Last year for Jess's birthday, her 30th, we went out for breakfast, the 4 of us, and then back to the pool for the afternoon, and Alice and I had snacks and birthday cake, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So that's seasonal, but it's necessary. I also brought McKinley and Edie one time last year. They now have a pool at home, so they're in there. But I think seasonal too, part of my wellness is when it's not plus stupid degrees out. Like I think it's supposed to be 45 today or something, but I sit in my backyard with my fire at night. Haven't actually done it yet this year, and today is July 2nd, but I sit out there every morning. I sit in my screened-in porch that is behind you, and with my phone or read or answer emails and stuff, coffee. That's seasonal.
Okay.
Winters, I don't have a...
Well, it's nice to just have an excuse or have somewhere to go outside. It
Yes.
makes such a difference.
Yes.
Okay. What is your personal recipe for feeling your best? So this can be habits, rituals, or little things that help you feel more energized or grounded.
Surround myself with my tribe is huge. And my tribe is, I talk about them all the time, but my lifelong friends. Like, we have been friends some of us since kindergarten, and we're in our mid-50s, right? So I've been, like, sister best friends for 50 years with some, and 45 with the others, because some came when we were 10, 11 years old. But anyway, yeah, and then my family is in my tribe too, obviously, but that for sure. And I think I try to do this, really pair it with alone time as well. I'm a social person, but I need my alone time. I need my downtime. And when I do have a very busy life, so running the business and seeing clients and all of this. So part of it too is I incorporate it at the beginning of my day and the end of my day. Mm-hmm. So I have my routine that you may be going to ask me about my routine, so I won't talk too much about it right now, but I have my routine every morning and I have my routine every night. And then, I make sure that I balance social and alone. And
I think balance is so important for overall well-being as well. Like, we can get so fixated on doing too much, where alone time to yourself, like anything, like it's good to balance, like, being social, also the time to yourself. Otherwise we get so stuck on one thing, and then that leads to your own burnout.
Absolutely. And with what we do, we need to balance both of those, right? With what we do, I always say, our business doesn't deal in sunshine and rainbows, right? Our profession is not sunshine and rainbows. Our profession is 4 or 5 days of heavy, and sometimes, like for me, sometimes 7 days, right? Because I'm dealing with the business stuff during the weekend, as well as it comes up, and checking Kyla's emails and stuff like that. So I think it's really important it's important for everyone, but in our profession, we really need to balance that, being social with other people in like lightness, and being alone to process and just have a little bit of solitude. I don't know about you, but for me, because we listen all week long, do you find that when you're with your friends or your partner, when you go home or something, it's like, like you're just talk?
I can be that way, or the complete opposite, where I don't want to talk to anybody.
Yes, I have that, which is the alone time at the end of the day. But I find, like, if my friends come over or something, all of a sudden, I'm like this, I need to tell them every single thing that's happened in my week or whatever. And normally I'm like, I share with people, but I often share surface level. There's not many people in this world who know exactly what I think and how I feel about things. Keep that pretty close to my chest. But I find that, and then sometimes I'm texting them apologizing after. I'm sorry if I made that all about me. And my friends are always like, no, like, you need to have an outlet too. So,
and it's healthy too. You're talking to people like that are you're close with, that you trust.
Yes, I would trust those girls with my life. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
Okay. What do you do on the days when you really don't feel like doing anything, either working or just showing up for yourself?
Again, when I don't feel like doing anything, I don't have very many of those days. I think when I don't feel like doing anything, but I do have obligations running a business. There are things that have to be taken care of, and running a business and having a staff of like 10 or 11 people in my business, I need to monitor things and check things. Mm-hmm. And so I make sure that the responsibilities or obligations I have, I book them into my day in the morning. That's just something that I've done.
Do you start your day with the things you have to prioritize?
I start my day with my morning ritual. And I can expand on what that is anytime throughout here. But I start my day with my morning ritual, and then I make sure that as soon as that's done, so it may be 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm always up. All you girls know. Yeah. I'm up 5:36 every day, or sometimes earlier, and I'll send emails, and I'll get Aaron one time was like, why are you sending me an email at 5 a.m? Because I'm up. But yeah, it depends. If I'm up at 5 a.m, then I may do the email stuff first, but usually I have my ritual, and then I make sure it's done before like 10 or 11 in the morning. So I have the rest of my day that if I want to lie in my bed and watch a movie or sit here and, watch something, or read or online shop or scroll TikTok, I make sure that I get my obligations done. Because I have some days that I'm like, I don't want to do anything. But then I know that the obligations, and I'm not talking like laundry, I'll do it the next day. I'm talking like business obligations. I get them out of the way.
Okay. So what are some of your non-negotiables when it comes to your health and well-being, or just feeling your overall best?
Non-negotiables. I think the older I get and the more confident I am in myself, I don't allow toxicity into my life. That's a non-negotiable. It's in my life. But I don't give it my energy, right? Like, whereas before, if I had somebody who was toxic or somebody putting me down or making me feel bad, I would go over it and over it and over it in my mind. And, should I say something? Should I not? Should I, I would give it my energy. And now I might vent about it to somebody, but it doesn't really bother me so much. I actually was sitting here the other day thinking, am I getting like really cold or something? Because so many things don't bother me anymore. Like, I'll get ticked off, I'll get pissed off for a little bit, and then I'm like, meh, and I don't know. I think it just might be where I am in my life too. It's like, this is my life and I want to live it, and I want to live my best life. And so that would be a non-negotiable, not to let toxic people or toxicity live rent-free in my head.
Okay.
And I think it's made a huge difference. Like, I literally ask myself, is this something I want to put my energy into? And if it's bad, 9 times out of 10, it's no. Sometimes I need to address it. Another non-negotiable.
What about like in terms of your habits or your daily
My morning routine.
Okay.
My morning routine for sure is a non-negotiable. For me right now, the food I put in my body is a non-negotiable. Do I, like, we're in Toronto for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which meant a lot of eating out. But I really looked at like what I ate, and I didn't eat poorly. Sunday, I allowed myself to have like a crispy chicken burger with sweet potato fries. Yeah, but on the most part, it's not that I'm not going to allow myself to enjoy if I go out with friends, but non-negotiable is what I put in my body now.
And I think once you realize what feels good for you, it makes such a difference.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, my routine, my peace, nutrition, moving now is a non-negotiable for me. And toxicity.
Okay, I love those.
I have a pretty good life.
Okay, so what is one healthy meal or snack you find yourself making over and over? Speaking of the healthy food.
Yeah. Oh, well, like, I don't have a lot of variety in what I eat, right? Well, I can if I just like what I make. So,
like, what's one recipe or snack that you'd recommend to anyone to just feel good, or one of your favorites?
I make, and I love them, like I actually crave them, but I make chicken salad, but with like Greek yogurt, chopped up tomatoes, chopped up cucumber, dill, chicken, obviously, some garlic powder.
You have the best chicken salad. I think you've made it for us before.
Oh yes, yeah. That was the more fat version. That was mayo and stuff. But yeah, I put like Dijon mustard and dill and everything. I made those chicken croissants, I think, chicken salad croissants. Yeah, but for me, I make that and then I put it in like a Boston lettuce leaf wrap kind of thing, and I love those. Like I'll be at work craving those for dinner kind of thing. So I make that. I really like that. If it's not like, I mean, I love to cook. So I do, like, my family loves my lasagna, and I make like chicken parm for my family sometimes, like on occasions, because I live alone, but with fettuccine Alfredo, but I make like the Alfredo and everything from scratch. And yeah, but for me, the healthy stuff, yeah, that's probably my favorite. Every morning I either have like, I kind of alternate three things. Like I'll have egg whites and oatmeal with berries and put a little bit of maple syrup in. I like that. Or I'll have like, I'll make an omelet with a lot of veggies and stuff in it. Often during the week, because work, I'll have like, I'll have Greek yogurt, high protein Greek yogurt with, I always put a little bit of maple syrup in it, and hemp hearts and chia seeds and fruit and nuts, and yeah.
Okay, so what are some of your go-to recommendations for someone who's feeling stuck or in a little bit of a funk?
Always to my clients, right? Because most of them feeling stunk. I was going to say funk and stuck. Most of them are feeling stuck or in a funk. Break it down. That's one thing. Like, normally we're feeling stuck because we're feeling overwhelmed. And so break it down. Make your list and then break it down over the week for one or two things. Like, lower the expectations. If you know you can do one thing on Monday, just put one thing down. If you do more than one thing, then that's a bonus. That's going to produce more dopamine, right? If the other thing is have a morning routine. Start your morning. I know that I have stressful days. I know what my days are going to be like. I'm a trauma therapist. I know I'm taking in a lot of this stuff. And I mean, even if you're not a trauma therapist, you know, like you guys, you're taking in, and you work with kids too, so that's a lot of energy, right? But start your morning. So many of us, the alarm goes off, feet to the floor, jump in the shower or whatever, and it's like out the door, especially people who don't set their alarm until it's like half an hour before they have to leave for work, right? Yes, I get up early in the morning, and I set my alarm for 6, so if I'm not up before then, I'm up then. Even if I start work at 11, because I want that time to either sit on my porch with my coffee. Nowadays, I every morning I make my own probiotic Greek yogurt, and I have a little bit of it to start my day for my gut health and stuff, because oxytocin and everything's in your gut too. Maybe that's why I'm like, whatever. I don't know. But and then I can't eat anything for half an hour after, or drink anything. But so I just take that half hour to chill. Sometimes I'll take that half hour to get a few things done, right? But that's that morning routine of just taking the time. Before I get out of bed, I lie there and I do some deep breathing and like tense my muscles up, and I stretch every limb and everything before I even get out of bed every morning. So those are some things that I say. Start your day with peace, not rushing out the door, and change your alarm.
So I've also started setting like at least 25 minutes to myself in the morning. So like I wake up a bit earlier, make sure I have that time, and I've noticed like such a difference in my own well-being. Whatever it looks like for that day, it might mean a morning coffee outside or just a few minutes to tidy up the house, whatever it is, that's just time for myself before rushing out the door makes such a difference.
Absolutely. And again, especially with what we do, because you get up, you rush out the door, you get to work, you rush into work, you sit down, and then boom, right? We need to, even getting to work too, like getting to work a little bit earlier and just like setting up and just talk to the girls and starting your day that way, I think helps.
Okay, so if you had to pick, you have to pick one, a morning routine or an effective night routine, which do you recommend? Especially if it's for someone who's feeling overwhelmed, burnt out, and they just need to focus on one, which do you recommend and why?
Okay. Although I think they're both very important, I would recommend a morning routine. Just because it's how we start our day. It sets the precedent for the day. So I used to say this when I worked with kids all the time to parents, if your kids are starting their day with you being rushed and come on, and getting upset with them, they're going to school, that's where they're at, their nervous system's up here, right? I think that if we can set our nervous system, like relax it and set it before the day, I think that that's really important. I think that starting the day with purpose, whether it's like affirmations while you're doing all this stuff, have some downtime to sit and have a coffee or tea or whatever. Some of my clients have Diet Coke in the morning. Whatever it happens to be, just starting your day like that with that clear, peaceful morning, that sets your nervous system for the day. That sets the way your day, not the way because you don't know things are going to come at you, but I can tell you that if I start my day the way that I start my day like that every day now, but when I think back to when I didn't, if something comes up, I'm just like, okay, let's deal with this. Whereas before it'd be like, oh my God, I can't, right? And so, because I was already...
Yeah, I think your nervous system's activated when you wake up and you're go, 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 and then you don't have that time to reset. Yeah, it would carry with you all day. Yeah,
because if you're rushing and stuff, your nervous system sees that as a threat, right? So, yeah.
Okay, what healthy habit took you the longest to develop?
Almost all of them. Exercise and eating for sure. I think that, I battled my weight my whole life. But as I got older and perimenopause and stuff, that is not for the faint of heart. And it's so frustrating because it doesn't matter what you do until you really start a consistent, right? And so I think that just... I talk to people all the time about the difference between strengthening your giving in muscle and your resistance muscle. Every time we give in to those thoughts that say, I'll just do it tomorrow, or I just ate bacon instead of, so I already ruined it, I might as well keep going. Every time we give in to those thoughts, it becomes easier and easier to give in to them. And then we just don't work out. We just don't eat healthy. The more we resist those thoughts and push through it, because even now, last week going to Toronto, Thursday, I had clients, I had supervision with you guys, I had appointments, and then I was like, oh, maybe I'm going away anyway. Those old thoughts come in, I don't need to. And I was like, no. And so... even though I had stuff to do, when I came home at 4:30, I went downstairs and I did my upper body workout. Friday, I had a hair appointment at 9:30. We were leaving at noon. I was like, okay, I'm going to Toronto. I'm going to be walking a lot. No, right? So I resist those thoughts more and more, and I push through it. And then I did my lower body workout before, which I did a lower body workout and then walked about 20,000 steps a day. But I think any our brains want to feel comfortable, right? And so until you change what that comfort looks like, for me, eating right now and exercise is comfort, not the other way around. I think that anything we do, like even morning routines, how many times is it, if you are someone who sleeps in, it feels better just to sleep in and then, okay, I'll be rushed, right? So I think that so any change that I've made in my life to be healthier or to change my mindset, none of them are easy.
So being consistent with it is...
Being consistent and fighting the urge to not do it, and fighting those voices in your head that, like devil and angel, right? The devil's like, meh, you already ate some chocolate. Go have the pizza.
And I think it also goes back to like focusing on the controllable factors, and you can control those thoughts. It's just finding ways to be consistent and do that. Sometimes we feel like they can control us, but that's never actually the case.
Yeah, absolutely. They might pop in, but then we can control them. Thoughts are not facts and thoughts are not feelings.
Okay, are there any habits you've stopped doing because they weren't actually serving you?
I think that kind of goes along with, coming home from not doing meal prep and coming home from work at 8 o'clock at night exhausted, and so I just throw some cheese on some nacho chips or a frozen pizza or something. Those were habits that brought me comfort or convenience, and so those weren't easy to change. Is that what the question was?
Habits you've stopped doing because they weren't actually serving you.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, that wasn't actually serving me. It was convenient, so it was serving the convenience, but I felt like crap going to bed. Taking on other people's problems and issues. I think as a therapist we do that, but it was my nature too. I'm like the one who makes sure everyone has what they need in my family, and make sure, I was very over-functioning most of my life, and now not so much, because I was like, what is this serving? I'm very much now about reciprocity too. If you're not going to put any energy into me, I'm not going to put all of my energy into you. So that wasn't serving me well. I thought, because of my acts of service is kind of my love language, and so I thought it was, but it was just exhausting me and depleting me. Yeah.
Okay, if you could recommend just one habit to someone wanting to improve their mental health, what would it be? Or their overall well-being?
A habit. I say this all the time. Boundaries and limits. And I think that those kind of encompass all that we've been talking about, right? Setting those limits for yourself, knowing your limits first and understanding your limits, setting boundaries, and boundaries aren't line in the sand. Boundaries are, like I just said, if you're not going to put any of your energy into me, I'm not putting all of my energy into you. It doesn't mean I won't put some energy into people because maybe they're going through something, right? But if it's a consistent pattern, so that's a boundary that I've set for myself. Working out and stuff and not listening to the voice in my head is a boundary that I'm setting for myself. So I think that, and I have a lot of other boundaries and limits too, but I think for your mental health, a healthy mindset, setting boundaries, because lack of boundaries or porous boundaries is what causes overwhelm, feelings of not being in control. Rigid boundaries can too, because if you're like so boundary oriented that there's no wiggle room, that can cause overwhelm as well. Yeah, I always say that's number one.
Boundaries and limitations.
Yeah. because they are part of self-care, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's one that can improve any area in your life.
Yeah. I think we're afraid of boundaries. I don't know if you see, well, you have kids mostly, but if you see it with your clients and stuff, but I think people are afraid of boundaries because of what we've been taught that they are. So first of all, we think that boundaries are like, well, if I make this boundary, I won't be able to, like, there's no wiggle room, right? But also, I don't know about you, but how many times, the number of times I've had a client say, well, I don't want to upset them, or I don't want to hurt their feelings, or I don't want to seem mean, or I don't. A boundary isn't about the other person's behavior. A boundary is about protecting your peace and your mental health.
I always say that to clients, like, boundary is a way to teach people how to respect you.
Yeah.
And how to respect yourself.
That's right. And if you word it in a way, because we've been taught that boundaries are, I'm not talking to you anymore. Right? I am not coming over. I'm not bringing the kids over if you're not if. I'm not bringing the kids over because of the blah, 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 right? Yeah, that's a boundary. But a boundary is, if you continue to speak to me that way, I'm going to remove myself from the situation. That's a boundary. How is that mean to the other person? But that's not how we say it. It's like, I'm not talking to you anymore because you're talking to me that way. Right?
Yeah, the way it's phrased is always the key, I think.
It's if you, then I. If you think of a boundary like that, you know, and you can even word it in ways like, I understand things get heated sometimes, and I understand that we have a difference of opinion. However, if you start yelling or you start calling me names, then I'm going to take some space. We'll talk about it, but I'm taking space. That's a boundary.
And it's something that people, I always work with them on practicing doing that guilt-free.
Yes.
'Cause I think it comes with a lot of guilt, shame, feeling bad about it, worrying what others think.
Absolutely. And I always say, I call guilt the G word, right? Because the definition of guilt implies an intent to harm. You're not intending to harm anybody by setting the boundary for yourself. A boundary for me is not providing the energy to toxicity, right? So I don't even have to say anything to the person. I don't have to, you know, if somebody is toxic, I just kind of fade out. It's not ghosting. I don't, you know, I fade out my energy. So I may still, you know, work with the person or talk to the person or hang out with the person, but I don't allow their energy to come into my, it's like I have this force field around me. Yeah.
Love that. Okay, last question.
All right.
What is one wellness habit that you genuinely look forward to each day?
My morning routine. My morning routine.
Anything specific about your morning routine?
Yeah, so my morning routine, other than what I said about like when I'm in bed, I get up and then I have that little bit of probiotic yogurt that I make.
Can you explain what's in that?
Yeah, so one of my closest friends, Sue, her husband, told me about it. His daughter was doing it, and I can't think of the name of the microbiome because it's got about 400 letters in it. But, yeah, I can't think of it right now. But our guts, so serotonin, oxytocin, all of that stuff is in our gut, right? And especially people my age and everything, we were on so many antibiotics and everything that microbiome that is really necessary is depleted. And so I can't even remember. Well, maybe no, I can't do a podcast on it. It's not my thing. But yeah, I can't remember the doctors even. And there was one doctor, I think Dr. Williams or something, who created it, and he took it, like studied it and everything, and then put it in. So what I use is the microbiome. It's capsules, so I split it open and I put it in 2 of those, and then I put some inulin fiber, which is really dense fiber, or like high potent fiber, and then I use organic cream and organic milk, and you mix it in, and I have a probiotic yogurt maker. And like it has glass dishes, and you cook it for 36 hours. So he, in this little thing, and he tried all different times and everything, and he found 36 hours at, they're Americans, so they say 99 degrees Fahrenheit, 37 degrees Celsius, is the exact, like that's the perfect temperature and time for it to multiply enough. And then I have them, well, you opened up my fridge, you probably saw the little containers, half-cup containers, and it replenishes that microbiome. It increases oxytocin and serotonin in your body because, you know, I don't feel bloated anymore. I don't feel, I mean, I'm also eating better, but I do feel happier. And my friend's husband had diverticulitis, and for 18 months, like, he had lost a lot of weight. They tried to do tests and they couldn't because of inflammation. He was really sick and he had flare-ups every day. And I think he said it was about 8 days after using it. I think I've been on it now for 2 or 3 months, and I think he's been on it for like 5 months. He has not had one flare-up since.
Wow.
Right? And can eat the foods that he couldn't even look at before. So, yeah. So I have that little bit in the morning, and then I either sit here in this chair, or I sit out on my porch and I put my AirPods in, I have music in, and just have my coffee. In the winter, I have my fireplace on, and I sit there for about half an hour, 45 minutes. Sometimes I'll check my emails because just in case someone's canceled and you're driving half an hour or, 40 minutes, I don't want you guys coming in. So I'll check the email and stuff, but then I just chill and I listen to my music and I dance in my kitchen when I'm making my breakfast. So then after that I eat my breakfast. After that I work out. and my workouts are usually, they're about 55 minutes to an hour. And then because my age, you have to take 2 to 3 minutes between like reps, not reps, like sets, not reps, sets and stuff. So it's not like I'm working out hard for that. I mean, I'm still working out hard. I lift really heavy weights. I told Kyla the other day what I was lifting because my age too, it's low reps, heavy weights. And I said, I said, like my chest press and stuff, I have 2 25-pound dumbbells. And Kyla's like, what? And I said, yeah, my curls, I do 20-pound curls now and stuff like that. And she's like, you're stupid. So I do my workout and then I come and have my breakfast. And so that's like, I have that, and it's every morning, it's all about me. And that's how I start
So
my
you
day.
look forward to all of it,
I look forward, you asked me about the routine. I look forward to all of it. I look forward to just having that downtime. I look forward, can't believe I'm saying this, my sister will be so proud of me. I look forward to working out. I look forward to listening to my music, dancing in my kitchen. The old guy behind me there, if my curtains are open, he sits in his recliner and watches. I don't know if he can actually see me, but I've looked out sometimes and he's like looking, so I don't know if he's looking. Whatever, maybe that makes his day too, I don't know. But that's the stuff that I really look forward to. Now, I also look forward to my nighttime routine where after work, I've talked about this a few times, I sit here with sometimes I usually get home before Danica, who lives next door. And so my niece, and so she comes over, she works for us too, obviously, you know that. So she'll come over after. But if I'm home before her, I put my music in, close my eyes, and I just sit here and like tune out the whole world. Sometimes, if we're done at the same time, she comes over, we kind of chat, regroup, and then after she goes, I'll sit here for a bit, or I have a bed that goes up and stuff, so I'll sit up and I'll just, So.
Okay, well,
I
thank you.
look forward to both of those.
Yeah. I love that. I'll have to try some of your habits.
Before you get old like me. Start them early.
Okay, well, thank you for answering all the questions about wellness, healthy habits. I loved some of your ideas.
Absolutely. Now you can try some of my ideas. Spread the word at the office. I want all my therapists coming in chill.
Curling 20-pound weights.
Yeah, you guys don't have to yet. All right, so this is fun. This is cool. And I think we'll do more of them with you guys because we can get more into like the psychotherapy stuff too and everything. Like we can do different.
I have lots for that as well, so I definitely want to do this again.
All right. I know Erin wants to do some too, so cool. Danica's probably like, yes, because I don't want to have to do it. All right, awesome. I hope you enjoyed learning about some wellness techniques that I have incorporated into my life and changes that I've made with Rachel, and hopefully not only will Rachel and some of the other girls make some changes for wellness, but I hope you do too. If any of these wellness techniques or any like changes I've made in my life resonate with you, share with somebody, or you know someone who might find it useful, please share, like, and subscribe. And until we see you next week, take care of you. That's it for today's episode of the Mental Playbook with Christine Dalgity. Remember, the work doesn't end when the episode does. Thank you so much for watching and for being part of these conversations. If you're enjoying the podcast, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. It helps us grow and reach more people who might need this too. And don't forget, take care of you.